Right, here we go then. Black Isle. Hello, I'm Dave. Oh gosh, that's noisy. I'm Dave, and I'm going to be talking over and thus spoiling this work of art that is Planescape Torment. But first of all, that's not me, that's a scary dragon. In case you were wondering. In case you were taken in by its tricks. Oh no! Oh, that's dramatic, isn't it? Gosh. TSR, I knew them from, I think I had a brochure of theirs, advertising little model dragons that you could get. Okay, so this is what we will come to know as the Mortuary. This is just the intro to the game, so I'm not going to really jabber on too much. And in a moment I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this. It's a bit like a Let's Play, but slightly different. And who's this on the old slab there? Who's that? I don't know his name. Do you? Maybe these are his dreams. I don't know. Maybe those are his rats. Oh, I always thought this was a very effective image. Look at that. Isn't that great? I wonder if they're going to be in the actual game. Not ever having got through much of the game, I don't know the significance of a lot of these images yet. As you probably know, this is a classic PC RPG called Planescape Torment. And you should know, because it's continuously voted one of the best games there's ever been. Especially games that tell a story, anyway. And then, oh no, she's gone! Oh, that's not fair, I'm having a nightmare about it. Oh no, now she's really horrible! And she's going, you, and I'm like, what? Oh no, don't do a thing. There's a fight there, some dragony people, somebody down a hole. Oh, this handsome man. Oh no, what's happening to me? And then there goes a ghost with an accusatory glance, I feel. As if I may have done something wrong, or I don't know, or I'm supposed to know what's going on. And that's it. Those are the nightmares of this fella who, so he's gonna get up or that, or something. And here we are, in Planescape Torment. So, what's going on here is, yes, as I said, this is a bit of a Let's Play, sort of. I don't really know why people do Let's Plays. I don't know what their initial, motivation to do them is. But for me, I've got a very specific motivation to play through this game, and you're it. So here's what my situation is with this game. I have never played Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate 2, Planescape Torment is the only Infinity Engine game I've ever played. It's 1998, and at this point I've got my own computer in my bedroom. I was just in, I think it was just a general shop, I think it was Smith's or something like that, and I had a little look at the PC games, which were, I feel like I was on my way out. We'd finished looking around that shop, and I was just on my way out, and I happened to just glance at the PC games, sort of, on my way to the door, and there was this thing with this big blue guy's face on the front cover. But this guy's face is not what made me look. That wouldn't have done anything for me at all. I would have just gone, okay, it's a blue guy's face. You know what made me look at Planescape Torment? It wasn't reviews, I'd never heard of it before, I had no idea, didn't know about Black Isle, didn't know about the Infinity Engine, none of that. Didn't know about Dungeons and Dragons, at least sort of, I knew vaguely about it in passing, but I thought it was that cartoon. No, the reason I picked up the box for Planescape Torment, and the reason I'm here wanting to play it today, is because there was something else strapped to the cover of the box with cellophane, which I thought was just the most fascinating thing I'd ever heard of coming with a computer game. This was the most unique bit of bonus content that I'd ever heard of, and this was back in the day when games would come with weird little extra things like maps and stuff. One of the ones I remember keenly was Frontier Elite 2 on the Amiga, and that came with a giant map and it came with some stuff, but among other things, the one that really got me with Frontier, the one that interested me the most, was it came with a book of short stories set in the Frontier world. Games were not the big deal thing they are now. It was very rare and fascinating any time games sort of extended out into other existing mediums. You always stopped and took notice. And this was one of those times, because strapped to the front of the box was this, a novelization of the game that it was being sold with. That blew my mind. The idea of buying a computer game that advertises itself as long and involved and plot-based, and it comes with a novelization of that game. The idea of a game having enough story in it, in the days when games were still platformers and stuff, to be capable of turning into a book, however faithful or unfaithful that book might be, that was a huge thing for me. That was fascinating to me. And because of that book, I picked up the box and I had a look at the screenshots on the back and they looked really interesting. And I read the blurb on the back of the box. I wish I had it still. I've got the box somewhere, but not on me. So if I had it, I'd be able to look at what it says on the back and see exactly what it was that really hooked me and sold me on the game. But something did, and this book was a big part of it.
Here we are, I found it. Welcome to Sigil, the City of Doors, a place with gates that lead anywhere in existence, provided you have the proper key. It is a neutral ground and watering hole for races across the multiverse, all under the watchful shadow of the Lady of Pain, the enigmatic ruler of the city. It is a place where the word is mightier than the sword, where thought defines reality, where belief has the power to reshape worlds and change the laws of physics. Yeah, I can see why that hooked me in. And then you've got these 4 screenshots, and all I remember from looking at them in the shop that day was that one had some kind of magic being cast, and I think it must be this second one with the sort of the wall of energy that there appears to be there. It says here that, throughout the game your character adapts to fit your own personal gaming style? That sounded exciting. Encounter inventory items with personalities. Manage an Manage an unpredictable party of the strangest allies to walk the faces of alternate planes. You can regenerate, speak with the dead, have magical immunities. You're a power to be reckoned with. Unfortunately, so is everyone else. That is a good sell.
Now, a note to people who are playing this in this modern day and age. As you well know, the best way to play Planescape Torment is the good old games edition of the game. And if you buy it, it says in the extras that it comes with the novel. The novel that comes with it is actually a project done by a fan a few years before it went on to good old games, probably in around 2003, 2004, around that sort of time, where a fan ripped the entire script out of the game, because it's a very text-based game, and stuck it all together with sort of narrative in between. As I understand it, one of the reasons he did that was because fans were not satisfied with this book. It's not sufficiently... Yeah, I mean, you can see just from the length of it, there's no way it's going to contain all the content that this game famously does. And it's likely, especially if I keep gibbering on like this, that we're not going to get through it either. But here's the reason we're doing it. No! I'm going to start playing the game, and I'll tell you in a bit why exactly it is that I want to play this game with you, and it does have to be with you. For now, let's just get on with it. I'm sure you're sick of waiting already, and when there's a pause, then I'll tell you why I'm recording this. Right, okay.
And here we go! Oh, I'm excited about this. New life! Oh, and there he is, the Nameless One. If he has a name, I genuinely don't know what it is. I didn't play very much of this game. I played enough of it to really love it and get into it, but not enough to get very far at all, really. Not enough to get very far at all, but enough to learn the music a bit. Okay, so here we are. Modify your statistics by clicking on the plus and minuses. This is a fairly general sort of character building screen, but this is probably the first one like it I ever saw. I mean, apart from in, choose your own adventure books. Oh, a lovely cup of tea there. Okay, so now I want to know what the story is here, and so I'm inclined to build a character that's clever enough to have more dialogue, which I understand some of these stats are capable of altering, and I believe the intelligence is one such stat. So, intelligence. Your memory, reasoning, and deductive skills. A high intelligence helps you regain memories faster. Good, okay, we want that. Gives you more dialogue options, oh yes, and aids your mage skills. Okay, well, let's bing bang bong, let's get a couple of those in, because we've got 20 points to use up. Now, of course, I'm open to suggestion here. If anyone is looking at this and knows the game and knows that I'm doing this wrong, I am not above getting a save editor and just fiddling with it, because I want to play the game and really see all of it. Or, well, I don't know if you can see all of it, but I want to see as much of it as I can. That's the point here. I frankly don't care about playing particularly fair, although I take that back. I do care. I don't want to cheat. I don't want to cheat myself out of game content. And if I am, I feel like if I set these up wrong, then that is me cheating myself out of content. So I don't mind cheating in that way to change my stats, Wisdom, intuition, common sense, and willpower. High wisdom helps you recall memories and gives you a bonus to experience points. Oh gosh, back in the 90s when I read this, I didn't know about experience points, but now I do. Okay, so bing, bang, bong. Let's have a couple of them. Charisma. I'm going straight to the ones that I think are going to make the story better, you know. This ability score represents your persuasiveness, personal magnetism, and ability to lead. The more favourably others will react towards it. Sure, bing, bang, bong. Bong, bing. So what's left? Strength. You can carry more weight. I might want to carry stuff. Oh, and makes your melee attacks more accurate and damaging. Bing, bang, bong. Where's that? Constitution. Your physique, hardiness, and state of health. A high constitution gives you more hit points and a faster regeneration rate as well. Regeneration rate. I wonder what that means. Well, I feel like that's less important, and I'll have the chance to build that. And then what's this? Hand-eye coordination. Harder to hit. Aids your thief skills. Oh, that'll be fun. Okay, so meanwhile, we'll have more of that. Go on. Let's. I want to get as many dialogue options as possible. So let's have that. There we go. I think we've built a character there. And that's his name, the Nameless One. Perhaps we'll find out he has a name. I think in the book, I think they give him a name in the book. But whether or not it's the actual name of the character or not. I haven't read the book either, by the way. Ever since I got the game, you'll find it's like relatively untouched. It's in quite good condition. And that's purely because I've always been saving the book for after I've played the game. So I've never, as excited as I was about the book, I've never really touched it. Let's go. Ooh, here we go. Oh, I remember this loading screen. Oh, I can't wait to update my journal. And here he is. Kevin, the Nameless One. Albert, the Nameless One. Aha! And here's a skull.
Chief.
Played by
Okay?
Rob Paulson, I believe.
Corpse, you're putting the blinds on the dusties. I thought you were a deader for sure.
That's a line I remember very well. Are you playing corpse or are you putting the blinds on the dusties? That's sort of ingrained. Here is a fascinating character who, from the off, just shows you that this game is going to be interesting because this is a floating skull. And he hasn't got a body. He bobs along at the sort of height as if he had a body. On screen, he's represented as being a much bigger head than that of the Nameless One. I never really noticed that before. If you look at the size of him there, and then compare him to his tiny, weeny head. This is a character who is fascinating, because he's a floating skull, and because he talks in a kind of a, well, what I think is quite a British way. The slang in this game is, I think, pretty British and a bit Cockney-ish. But of course he's voiced by Rob Paulson, so he's American when he speaks. But I've always thought that, hey Chief, you okay? You're playing corpse, you're putting the blinds on the dusties. I thought you were deader for sure. That sort of voice I thought fit the lines better. Perhaps not the character, let's wait and see. So, now this is a dialogue-based game. There's going to be a lot of reading for both of us, but whatever. We're grown-ups, we can do this.
Who are you?
Who am I? How about you start? Who are you? And I get to choose out of a lot of... It's almost a text adventure, a game like this. You get a lot of dialogue. One of the things that sort of really pushed me to want to play this was the fact that Pillars of Eternity, is that what it's called? Pillars of Eternity? Whatever it's called. It came out really recently, and it was just, packed to the gills with text. It was all text, that game. And it just made me look at that and go, okay, I want this, but first I want to play Torment. I think I used to usually say, I asked you first, Skull. So I'm going to go with the other one this time, because I can't remember, and that's the story. Okay, so we're both trapped. I happen to know where we are. We're in the Mortuary, as most of the viewers will probably know as well. But, as I said earlier, I haven't played a lot of this game, and I'll tell you about that in a bit. So, we are locked in. The Mortuary. It's a big black structure with all the architectural charm of a pregnant spider. Now, when I first read that, I thought it was just a kind of a throwaway gag, with all the architectural charm of a, and then something without charm. But I think I've got the sense that it is actually kind of spider-shaped.
Am I dead?
He looks dead. Not from where I'm standing. You got scars aplenty though. Looks like some Burke painted you with a knife. See, Burke. That you can't get more British than the word Burke.
Scars? How bad are they?
I don't think I'm going to voice the whole game. I remember this bit well. He's got all of these tattoos across his back. Someone's written something on his back. And here we go. This is the starting dialogue, the "it's dangerous to go alone" moment. And in a fit of creativity, we've already had this floating Cockney skull. Now we have the initial starting clue, literally written on this guy's back, on the player character's back. And it says, "I know you feel like you've been drinking a few kegs of Styx wash, but you need to center yourself. Among your possessions is a journal that'll shed some light on the dark of the matter." Farod can fill you in on the rest of the chant, if he's not in the dead book already. Farod. Who's Farod? He's written a bit of a Farod story there. Poor Farod. Does it say anything else? So Mort is now round the back of me. He's reading my back to me. "Don't lose the journal or we'll be up the sticks again, and whatever you do, do not tell anyone who you are," well, I don't know who I am, "or what happens to you, or they'll put you on a quick pilgrimage to the crematorium. Do what I tell you, read the journal, then find Farod." Okay, so we have our initial mission. Read the journal that I've got with me, goodness knows where. I'm only wearing a loincloth, so we can but imagine. I don't know why they didn't just write all of this in the journal, to be quite honest. I mean, this is a much more creative way to open the game, but yeah, to be fair, why didn't they just write this in the journal? Maybe it'll be part of the story, perhaps we'll find out.
No wonder my back hurts. There's a damn novel written on there.
He's the original Geralt, this guy. Oh, okay, so we haven't got it. Never mind the loincloth theory, so I haven't got anything. So we asked the skull who Farod is, and I'm going to talk to you about Farod in a minute. The skull tells us he doesn't know who Farod is. And we're going to have to find a key.
Chances are one of the walking corpses in this room has it.
Walking corpses?
Yeah, the mortuary keepers use dead bodies as cheap labour. The corpses are dumb as stones, but they're harmless and won't attack you unless you attack first.
Hang on, dumb as stones? I was sure he said slow as molasses. That must be from another bit of dialogue. They will not have updated this game since I last played it in about, when did I last play it? Maybe 2002, 3, 4? I keep starting this game over and over again and I never get anywhere, probably because I keep blithering on. I don't want to kill them, I'm a good guy. But he explains, no, they're zombies, it doesn't kill them. So that's my first quest. Get a key off a zombie. And then he says, before you do that, arm yourself first. I think there's a scalpel on one of the shelves around here. And then it says note. And this is... Oh, I've got this warm feeling in my heart right now. Here's the game talking to me. Yes, it's a text adventure. And like... I miss text adventures. I didn't play many of them and I wasn't clever enough for them, but I missed them. And here is one, but with pictures. Best of both worlds. Search the shelves in the room for a weapon to attack the zombies with. When you find one, go to the inventory screen, the backpack button in the lower right, which there's not really any use telling me that yet because I haven't got it, but it's going to be down there, and arm yourself. If you wish to examine any items you find, right-click them in the inventory screen. Alright, I will. One last thing. Oh, here we go. Hey, those corpses are slow as molasses. See, the amount of times I've started this game over and over again, and you tend to remember little lines of dialogue.
If they start getting an edge on you, remember, you can run, and they can't. Use it to keep some distance if you need to recover.
To run, either toggle run in the options screen. No, I don't think I'll be doing that every single time. Or hold down the shift key. Yeah, that seems more reasonable to me. If you are in danger of dying, use running to keep your distance from the zombies while you recover. Well, that's a bit of life advice we can all agree with, isn't it?
Alright.
And here we go, we're playing Torment, and first thing that happens, so here I am, it's the 90s, I'm about, what was I, like a teenager, and I'm looking at this, and I am already going, oh my goodness me. Because first of all, it's pretty. These are, you know, nothing fancy, nothing 3D, but some of the most lavishly painted, the most work has gone into these graphics of probably any PC game I'd played up to that point. I don't know what wonders await me, but I know that this is a game I feel comfortable in. I feel confident in it. I feel like my hand is being held just enough because I've had those little tips where the game's been helping me out with little bits of information of things I could be doing, but I feel like I'm in control of the story because I've got these dialogue options that, you know, that I can decide which way the conversation goes, even though presumably it all ends up in roughly the same place, but that wasn't really something I was expecting in those days. So here we are, and I've got this is my cursor, this weird sort of pointy trowel thing. And sometimes you get a question mark. And what happens when you get a question mark? You click it and baff! Text! Oh, brilliant!
What's the hold-up?
Shush. These barrels contain a murky liquid. It smells like a cross between vinegar and formaldehyde. What about this? This slab is covered with dried blood and other remains. So now I'm in like a point-and-click adventure game. And oh look, there's a way out. A little door appears over my cursor.
What's the hold-up?
Well, yeah, indeed.
All
What's
right.
the hold-up? Let's get out of here. But it's locked. You know, I can't get out. So now I'm excited. I'm in this room. I can move around. I've got me. I've got the skull. I start tinkering. Can I just click me?
All right.
Yes. Can I just click the skull?
Sure, why not?
Yes. Can I click them by
Sure,
clicking
why not?
them?
Done.
Yes.
I'm gone.
Can I click them by dragging? Yes. Fantastic. Oh, I right-click, wondering what that does, and suddenly I've got this that appears. And does it always appear there? No, it appears wherever I put it. Oh my gosh. So what happens here? Menu anchor. Okay, so that just means I can move it out of my way. And straight away, look, I know you guys are all used to this sort of thing, but I was not. Every little detail, every little button, every little thing here was exciting to me. All of this. It's exciting now! Because I've never really got into these games, because any time I saw one and fancied it, I would always go, yeah, but I never played Torment. I'll play Torment. So what do these buttons do? I never figured out what they do. Combat / select weapon. Okay, so I haven't got any weapons, but I've got my fist. So now, presumably if there was an enemy, I would hit them with that, and it would punch them. Okay, select spell. I don't think I've ever got any spells. Select item, so I guess that's my inventory. Not very big. I don't know how many items I can carry at this point. Doesn't seem like many. Except now I'm starting to think, wait a minute, is this just my quick items, and I'll have a more robust one? Yes, because they told me about my inventory screen. I'll have a look at it in a minute. And then dialogue. I guess that's a dialogue thing. So, okay, let's have a look at the inventory screen. It did tell me I should, and oh, will you look at this. Again, I'm sure all of you veterans of PC RPGs would have, you know, just thought that this was exactly what you expected. But to me, this was a thing of wonder, because suddenly I could see that quiver, quick item, I was suddenly aware, item. Suddenly I could see that here are all these slots for things. I could carry so much, I could do so much, I could get a tattoo if I want. Hand, I could put something in my hand, I guess. Right, ring, I could put rings on. What's this, an eyeball? An eyeball? I could do something to my eyeball?
Don't want to part with that.
No, I agree. And then the icing on the cake is this down here. UK viewers will know why this got me excited. And I'm not going to tell you now, actually. Why not say in the comments why this helmet would have made a UK player in the 90s go, ooh, I'm going to like this. Why would that have made me excited? I knew that the thing that I'm thinking of wouldn't be anything to do with this, but just the sight of that helmet, it put me at my ease. It made me feel good. It made me feel like I was about to go on an adventure. Tell me in the comments why you think that was. And let's get back to the game. So here we are. I just hit escape there without even thinking about it. Would I have done that? Would I have known to do that in the 90s, or would I have just clicked inventory again? One or the other. Don't know. So here we are. I haven't even explored the room yet, and I'm excited. And over here,
Gone.
here's a table. Why? I've got a table. I can do something with the hand with the table. I'm thinking in the 90s. What? I click it. Is this the stuff that's in the table? There's a couple of bandages on the table there. And now I've got some bandages. Oh, and they only take up one slot. Is that true? One slot. Fantastic. I'm loving this game, both in the 90s and again now. This has not lost its charm for me. If you are a young person watching this and you're going, I don't know what he's so excited about, just pretend you'd never seen anything like anything in this game before. There's been no Dragon Age. There's been no Fallout. There are no games where you're just like exploring a place like this and just interacting with the stuff. But you've always dreamed that there would be. As you were playing point-and-click adventures, which you sort of thought of as being quite like this. This, to me, I was playing this as a point-and-click adventure. That was what I thought this was. And it kind of was. It's just that the dialogue was really super involved, and there was all of this. And I haven't even looked at... What's this? Map screen? Oh, look! It's where I am, but tiny weeny. A weeny, weeny, weeny. Cool. There's a couple of little... World map. What does that mean? All these places to see. Let's explore all of that later on. In the meantime... Whoops. Oh, this would be trying to move the screen, but of course it's the 90s, so we just push the screen. wonder if there's a mod, because I'd quite like to use my middle button to be able to drag it around. Let me know if you know there's a mod. But what's going on here? I woke up on a slab. Here's someone on a slab who doesn't look like they're waking up. Looks like someone is in the middle of dissecting this corpse. Oh, dear.
All right.
Oh, dear.
I'm gone.
Now, as you can see, this is a very long video because I'm trying to reenact in my own mind and for you how excited I was. Off they go. How excited I was about this when I first played it. Oh, it's cool that you don't have to go up to something to get the text. Oh, dear. Alright, so I've got to get a key off one of these corpses. And I've already figured out that if I do that, I can make it be a combat button. But let's just see if it'll do it itself. If I just
Alright,
click
I'm
that.
gone. Done.
Oh, I'm talking to the zombie! Oh, I can choose between talking to or fighting people. Okay, this corpse stops. The number 782 is carved into its forehead, and its lips have been stitched closed. Okay. Oh, hey, brilliant! I found it straight away. Click for more. I will. This corpse looks like the one with the key. It's holding it tightly in its left hand, its thumb and forefinger locked around it in a death grip. It looks like you're going to have to hack the corpse's hand off. Just prise the fingers apart.
I need that key, corpse.
Whoa! Ah, now I've got my fighty thing, and he's fighting back, and I'm taking damage, so biff, biffty boff. Got him. Alright. Now, how do I get his stuff? Oh, there's his stuff. Okay.
I'm gone.
There it is. Ugh, that's more of a corkscrew than a key. Is that a corkscrew? Oh, whatever.
Right.
So what do I do with this zombie then? So I can examine people, like talking to them is kind of like examining them. Okay.
I'm gone.
So let me just check there's nothing else to explore in this
Alright.
room. Now you'll see that I am, as you can tell, I'm moving around the screen. And the reason for that is, I'm sure some of you are going, Dave, you're doing this wrong, because there's a mod, right? There's a mod that zooms it out and lets you see the game in a higher resolution so you can see more of the map. I will probably be using that at some point during this playthrough. I'm not sticking to any one thing rigidly, but this is me trying to relive. Oh, I just healed. Oh, I can heal. Oh. This is me trying to relive what my experience of this game used to be, and there were no mods in those days, or well, there probably were, but I didn't know about them, so I didn't have them anyway. So for the time being, I'm sticking to just, you know, the vanilla game, and then I'll, you know,
Done.
maybe fiddle with it later on. Here's another table. Scalpel! So I could have fought him with my scalpel. Oh, that's what I should have done. I was supposed to fight him with my scalpel. Alright, well, I'll fight another one with my scalpel. This corpse is like, oh. But there's no need to fight that one. He's done nothing wrong. Let's just check there's nothing going on with him that I need to know about. Have we already seen that one? Where's the one I've killed? Is he... Is that him? Has he just come back to life again? Is that 7, 8... whatever it was? No, that's 825. Oh, that's... I've seen that one. Okay, alright, whatever. So... which door does the key work on? Was it this one? Not that one. Oh, select all characters. Oh! 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 Statistics screen. Oh, yes, of course. Fighter. I don't feel like I've earned that right yet. Oh, no, because I've fought someone. That's the only thing I've done. Mind you, it doesn't say obsessively try and talk to them first. Alright. Okay, and of course I don't know what half of this means, so let's leave it for now. And I mean that even in a retrospect way. Like,
Alright.
I never got far enough into this game to have, like, party members, apart from Mort. Hey! There we go. Oh, a little bit of cutscene. A little bit of cutscene.
Psst, some advice, Chief. I'd keep it quiet from here on. No need to put any more corpses in the dead book than necessary. Especially the Fems. Plus, killing them might draw the caretakers here.
Fems? Is he getting a bit... Are you serious? Look, Chief, these dead chits are the last chance for a couple of hardy bashers like us. We need to be chivalrous. No hacking them up for keys, no lopping their limbs off, things like that. Oh, come off it, Mort.
Last chance. What are you talking about?
Chief, they're dead. We're dead. See where I'm going, eh? Eh?
Mort, I mean, I'm not going to put too fine a point on this, but you are just a skull. Now then. Oh, yes, you can go back. How far can you go back? Can you go back, like, over the entire dialogue of the game? You can? No, I'm sure there'll be a limited amount. But anyway, oh my word, imagine if you could. Oh, I mean, you'd never would. You'd never read it like a book, but the fact that you could is fantastic. I wonder if that's what inspired that fan novelization type thing. So, I'm questioning Mort here, because Mort says, we've all died at least once. And I'm saying to him, didn't you say I'm not dead? And he backs off. He goes, well, alright, you might not be dead. And that could very well, this is a well-written line, because that could well just be that, you know, alright, fair point, you're not dead, I am. Or it could be that he knows something I don't. And I think I know something that I don't, because I seem to remember that the point of this is that, you know, you can die multiple times. Well, who's to say how many times I've already died? I've got amnesia. We don't know when the amnesia started, do we? And now he mentions the caretakers again, bringing us neatly back to... Who are the caretakers? And I genuinely can't remember, except that it's the Dusties he mentioned before. They call themselves the Dustmen. They have an obsession with black and rigor mortis of the face. They're an addled bunch of ghoulish death worshippers. They believe everybody should die sooner better than later. Oh, great. So we've got a faction of people who worship death and think we should all die. Killing corpses might draw the caretakers here. So what, can they sense death as well? And they come to where death is? Oh, mind you, the zombies are already dead, aren't they? So maybe they're just listening. Okay. Why do they care if I escape? Yeah, because at the moment, as far as I know, I'm a guy... And this is as far as I know. I don't know whether this guy's a zombie or whether he's like... I mean, he looks like a zombie. I'm going to say that. I'm sort of thinking that he's undead in some way, but I don't actually know. So as far as I know, as far as he knows, we're a bloke who's trapped in a mortuary for some reason because someone mistook us for dead. And that, I hopefully am going to find out why that is. Now, does that mean that the Dustmen are killing people and that's what these zombies are? Let's try that. Oh! Okay. Straight away, lore. We are in with lore. And by the way, I don't know anything about Planescape, the D&D setting, so I don't know how much of this comes from that, how much of it comes from this. I'm gonna take it all as being from this, because this is how it was introduced to me, it's how it's being introduced to me now. These shamblers are all that's left of the poor sods who sold their bodies to the caretakers after death. Now how? Presumably he means that they sold their bodies to the caretakers before death, but then the contract happens after death, or maybe after death they sold... We don't know. We don't know how weird this land gets yet. So presumably these are people who've, for money, presumably, you know, people who are hard off, sell their corpses to the caretakers to be reanimated, and why not? I mean, if you're dead, you're not going to mind, are you? That's just going to take me back to the dialogue about who the caretakers are. That's the female corpses thing again. Okay. Oh, two more little bits of game advice. One, if you've got questions, ask me. To speak to a party member, select the talk option from the quick menu, then left-click on the party member you wish to speak to. Fair enough.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's right. I need my journal, don't I? I can't
Update my journal without my journal.
start a new one. There's plenty of parchment and ink. Oh right, yeah. So I was misremembering that. I was thinking that I would find the journal quite soon, but looks like I just make my own. To access your journal, select the journal button in the lower right-hand corner. Okay, your journal will automatically be updated throughout the game, and at that point, I am sold, because I don't know, something about the idea. This was probably the first game I ever played where there was an updated, you know, quest log of any kind, and so to have this idea that this guy is filling in his diary as he goes, and I get to read it. That idea of there being this much stuff to read in the game. These days, I'm not so patient as to read that amount of stuff, but, you know, just having that much on hand to be able to read felt so big and deep and rich and great.
Updated my journal.
Woo! There it is! The first one! I have never forgotten that. Any time in real life, in the past, how long's it been since this game came out? In all that time, any time I'm referencing writing in a diary, I always go
Updated my journal.
just because it's become a part of me.
All right.
And you know what? This video is way too long, and let's stop it. Let's call it a day, because we can't go on forever. My hard drive will fill up with frapses if I do. And let's just leave it there. So next time then, I will tell you what it was about this game that made me need your presence here with me in order for me to fully enjoy it. I'll explain why when you join me next time on whatever this games channel turns out to be called when I come up with a name for it. www.youtube.com/whatever this channel turns out to be called. 50 boss.